This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana is presented by Rotolo's Pizzeria. Fresh ingredients, friendly service. That's just the way we Rotolo. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Pro Drive Outboards. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Venice Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Here we are, back at Puglia's. Anthony, tell us what's going on.
Good morning. Well, pretty excited. September 1st, September 2nd, that Friday and Saturday, we got that annual tax-free holiday. It's going to be big. Each year, I grow it bigger and bigger, and the way I do that is I go to these buy group shows and I buy discounted products that are on sale. So I look for savings so I can bring them back to the store and return them to the customer. So we're going to have a lot of things on sale. We're going to have last year's product, you know, older model hunting boots, older model clothes and guns. A lot of our stuff's going to be 30% off on clothes, duck calls, flashlights, hunting knives, scopes, boots. So we're going to have a really, really good sale going on.
You prepare for it really well by shopping ahead to get the merchandise for it. How's it been received by the public? Do people look forward to this, and do they come in and shop and then come by when the tax savings is in effect?
Oh yeah, sure. There's a lot of people that come in ahead of the tax weekend, and what they'll do is they'll pick out what they want. You know, guys and ladies, they'll come in, they'll buy their gun, their clothes, their boots, everything that they think they need to buy for the year. They'll leave us their credit card on file, and we'll put all their stuff in the warehouse. That way, a lot of people are going dove hunting that weekend or spending time with the family. We just ring it up on that day, and they come in the following week to pick it up. And
what merchandise qualifies? Of course, firearms, shells, boots, but what about some of the things, the ancillary products like feeders and stands and those types of things?
Oh, yeah, sure. Pirogues, stands, feeders, really anything to do with hunting. You know, basically, I would say probably 70% of the store. You know, we're going to have, you know, flashlights, knives, deer attractants, deer scents, all your calls.
Gun cases even?
Gun cases. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely.
And what typically can you save? How much is the savings amount to?
So, you know, the state's going to pick up a portion of the tax, and then we're going to pick up the balance. So it's going to be roughly about a 10% savings on your tax. And then on top of that, we're going to have certain things 30% off, 20% off.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to have clothes, boots, cameras, knives, scopes. So we're going to have additional savings.
What about pro staff? You're going to have some pro staff people here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to have the Benelli factory rep's going to be here. The Browning factory rep's going to be here. The CVA rep, the Stoger, Uberti, Franke. So we're going to have several reps here working both days for the customers, you know, answer any kind of questions they may have.
All right. Well, you can get your camo. You see I got mine on, my camo cooler and my Cajun cooler outfit, because I'm getting ready. Dove season's right here, coming up in a week or so. We got the teal season starting on September 15th, and then bow season. It just goes on and on and on, so you need to get ready for the hunting season. Some other things we're going to talk about. We're going to revisit my Alaskan trip. Gary, you made a trip for some red snapper offshore?
Right, made offshore, went out there with the big blue boat out of Venice Marina.
Of course, our news segment on Paradise, Louisiana, and always our fishing report. Going to be a busy show.
Ton of tournament reports, especially the high school kids.
All right, stay with us from Puglia Sporting Goods on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie, where you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Pod's moving in storage.
I need to clean out my study.
We'll deliver a container.
My brother-in-law's moving in.
Maybe he'll help you pack.
He's lazy.
We can refer some professionals.
It's just until he finds work.
We can keep things at our storage center for as long as it takes.
I am not happy about this.
Or you can keep your things on site for quick unloading.
Did you say freeloading?
I said unloading.
I heard freeloading.
I'm sure you did.
Store on site or let us drive your things to our secure storage center. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Hey,
I'm Mitch Rotolo, owner of Rotolo's Pizzeria. Our pizzas are prepared every day using the freshest ingredients. But Rotolo's has so much more to offer than just delicious pizza. We have an array of healthy salads and tasty wraps, a wide choice of pasta like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, zesty buffalo wings, and our selection of savory calzones. And don't forget to try one of our amazing desserts. Come into any of our local restaurants or check out our entire menu online at rotolos.com. That's just the way we Rotolo.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, I'm still missing Alaska, that cool, crisp morning air. You know what we got going on here? Dog days of August in Louisiana.
It was
sweltering.
91 degrees
Ouch.
at 10:30 the other day, plus the humidity.
And then we had an eclipse too. By the
Yeah.
way, any of y'all that got blinded by the eclipse, don't forget we got a radio show on every Saturday morning, even though you can't watch
Yeah,
Paradise,
that's cool.
Louisiana.
That's cool. It's sort of say something.
Come on, that didn't happen to anybody, just joking. Anyway, back to Alaska. We had a great trip, and you saw it last week, part one. We did our offshore trip. We did our lining or flossing for the sockeye salmon. Today we're going to talk about a really nice trip, another one of my favorites, where you jump on a float plane and you fly across from Soldotna, Alaska, across the Cook Inlet, and you set down basically in a ditch. He puts this plane down. You get out of the plane, you get into a small flat boat, and you head into Wolverine Creek or one of the big river lake, whatever they call it, and you pretty much fish like you fish in redfish. That day we fished with on the bottom. We didn't use corks. Another boat was Brian Lambert and his buddy Terry and Dorothy and Carmen were on a different boat. Linda and I and the Fisher guys, Larry Fisher and Ray Fisher, were on our boat along with Ralph Crystal, who operates the lodge. We fish bottom and we limited out on silver salmon, fishing with the salmon eggs.
What is the limit?
It's 3 per person, and they are meaty,
lot,
big
yeah.
fish. So you get 3 for each guy, and you stop on the shoreline and you have a nice shore lunch. He cuts the salmon and grills them right there.
That's more like catching snapper. You get 2, huh?
Well, yeah, it's better than snapper. And they use corks, and every time I fish down there, we use corks, so you can kind of go either way. The water was not that clear. It was kind of murky, but we saw the fish moving. And when we saw the movement, we pulled up, dropped anchor, and proceeded to catch our limit and get out of there.
And I just looked for some movement. Once we saw movement, we all spotted some movement around. We anchored off and threw toward the grass banks, and we started hitting fish, and so we never had to change, we never had to move. So that's how we kind of found them today. Another technique would be, if you can't see movement, and we're using bait, and so they're going to be smelling it, is to throw it out there, and if you start getting bites and stuff, there's fish there if you can't see them moving.
Ralph, you bring people from all over the country and all over the world out here. Have you ever seen any better fishermen than Louisiana fishermen?
Well, just me from Utah, but other than me, I did make a comment today that the people that you've had come up here from Louisiana that I've had have been really, really good fishermen. They know how to handle the rod, set the hooks. Sometimes, if there's even a fault with them, is that they're quick. They're quick hitters on the bite. But a lot of times they're just lipping these fish, and they do well with the rod, keeping the pressure on the fish. But I do think the Louisiana people do know how to fish pretty dang good.
I didn't want to slow you down. Keep cleaning the fish while we're talking. What is your favorite salmon recipe?
My favorite salmon recipe I'm going to cook up for you here in a minute. And I use one of your chef's seasonings, Paul Prudhomme. And I use black and red fish magic. I'm not a major cook, but being out on these flyouts, if the people catch their fish quick enough, I'll cook one up as long as they want to eat it, and I just sprinkle that on tin foil. We got a little barbecue out here, and cook it just maybe 7 to 10 minutes on low, and it usually comes out pretty good.
All right, now we're talking with Ryan Lambert. Ryan is a professional guide down in Buras, Louisiana, made the Cajun invasion trip. What do you think about Alaska fishing so far,
Ryan?
So
far today was redfish north. It was, fishing with a strike indicator with rope. I mean, it's just like red fishing. It's not too much different, softer mouth of a fish, but it's fun. There's a lot of fish. You can see them. It's great.
How did the fish fight once you hooked them?
It's good. If I could get redfish to jump like these, I'd be standing room only at the lodge. These will jump for you. That really makes a little different. Plus, you can see them moving about. There's a lot of fish, and just to see the scenery and the eagles and the mountains, it's beautiful here.
Every time I fish silver salmon, the bite seems to be the same way. It's a very, very light pick, and until finally you feel the weight and you set it. Is that what went on today?
Yeah, we put the corks on because they weren't taking off the bottom very well. So once we put the corks and you just let them go and just kind of reel down to them, but they'll drop it a lot more readily than a redfish will. Redfish gets it, he's got it. These would let go up pretty good.
That was a great trip. Then we kind of closed out our fishing trip portion with a float trip where you go on the Kenai River, the upper Kenai, and basically you float the whole way down. It's about a 7-mile trip. There's no motor on the boat, and you're casting for rainbow trout, dolly varden. It's pretty much a catch and release. A couple of unusual fish were caught. I caught one of those red salmon, or the sockeye they call it, in its stage when it's red and green with the big hooked jaw. That's when they're about to go. They're about to die. This fish is a vegetarian, but sometimes out of instinct or defensive purposes, they will bite. And this one happened to hit and put up a really good fight. It was a beautiful fish. Took a picture, released him back in. We caught some small rainbows, some dolly vardens, but the highlight of the trip is the scenery.
I got one question. I don't want to. Why, if he's getting ready to die, that beautiful, why you let him go?
Because the meat at that point is not worth anything. Okay. It's mushy,
Good
it's
answer.
soft, and it's not good. It's best to recycle it, let the other fish have something to eat, and also the bears and eagles enjoy them too. So, and then we closed it out with a glacier tour trip, which I really enjoyed. The boat is piloted by a Louisiana guy, believe it or not, Cody Hanna, who was formerly of Prairieville. Now he lives in Covington. He runs on the Mississippi River in the summertime. Winter he's up there in Whittier, Alaska. And that's gorgeous looking at those glaciers. And then it's time to come home. So we had a great trip. Outdoor writer and a co-host of my radio show, Linda Kutcher. First time she'd ever been to Alaska, and she's looking to go back. And we'll have more information on next year's Cajun invasion.
People keep asking me when I'm going, but
hey, it's there. It's waiting on you.
Let's talk real quick. To give another plug. You've been doing this for so many years right now. The cost is unbelievable because for what it includes. Tell us what it includes.
Well, it's $36.95, but that's completely turnkey. That's round trip airfare, rental car, lodging, meals, packaging your fish, the fly plane, all the gear, the bait, the tackle, everything you need. And that's 4 trips, 5 days, 2 days of travel. You can't beat it. Cajun Invasion, a good trip, maybe one of the better ones this year, and we'll be looking forward to it next year. And you're watching it on Paradise, Louisiana.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
Hey y'all, it's Sam Barbera. I'm with the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation. The foundation is a nonprofit that raises funds and provides support for the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Department. We assist with numerous projects like black bear, whooping crane, bald eagle, as well as family, youth, and women's workshops. For all of the information on the foundation, visit lawff.org. We need your support to help our wildlife and fisheries. Visit lawff.org.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Today we're at Puglia Sporting Goods in preparation for that September 2nd and 3rd no tax sale celebration going to be going on here. With me is Chris Lecoq, our show producer. Chris, you got to make a trip with Captain Eric Mahabarak, longtime good friend of mine who has made a transition from bay boat guiding to kayak fishing.
I did. I went a couple weeks ago. It was right around the Faux Pas Rodeo. Eric fishes up and down Highway 23. I asked him, where are we going? He said, well, I can't tell you. I'm following the fish wherever they go. Him, like many others, was affected by Katrina. He's been a charter captain for a while, but he kind of, after Katrina, he transitioned his fishing into more simple ways, and that is kayak. It's a growing sport. Eric runs Louisiana Kayak Company. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. What he does is he promotes kayak fishing. He's a Hobie team member, and he's also been named Best of Louisiana Outdoors Best Kayak Guide. So if you're watching this, if you're interested in kayak fishing, want to figure out how to get involved, give Eric a call, go to Facebook, find the Louisiana Kayak Company, and he'll definitely help you out.
You know, things like Katrina, we talk about unintended consequences as a result, but for Eric, it's actually an unintended benefit. I mean, who knew that kayak fishing was going to take off like it has? And now, while kayak is the fastest growing boat fishing sport there is, there's not a lot of guides out there, so it's created a lot of opportunity for him. What type of trips does he offer?
Pretty much, if you want to go catch a fish, he'll offer you anything. The day I went with him, we were after specks and reds. He does eco tours, he just, you know, kind of sightseeing. If you just want to do a sunset paddle, if you just want to go paddle around the marsh, if you want to fish, you know, he'll do pretty much anything. It's anything to promote the sport of kayaking and fishing, he's in.
This whole craze about the kayaks, it's actually more like a movement. A guy who can't afford a bay boat or flat skiff or something like that, you know, because those boats are starting off at $40,000 and up, you know, all the way up to $100,000 or better, some of them. You can make the initial purchase in this and put $20 in the gas tank and go just basically anywhere in the state for 20 bucks, you know, and those ponds where they can't launch them boats at and stuff, you can throw them in. You even use them for duck hunting. But it's really taken over, you know, with the country, and I think it's just a fun sport also, you know, and it teaches you to fish harder. Oh, there we go. Little Berkeley Golf there working for you. I knew I had to figure it out. He's a small guy. It's not bad. Oh, it's a drum. Yeah, drumfish. Little puppy drum. I remember back in the day when they would get eaten. Yeah. Little catch and release fish there for you. Before y'all buy a kayak, go to a demo day and try them all, you know, and figure out what fits you best. But the main thing is always weigh your PFD. That's the first thing before you even buy a kayak. You ought to buy one of these, because this will keep you alive. So that's my advice to y'all. Y'all just get outside, have a good time. Louisiana has a lot to offer. There you go. Yeah, boy. Oh, that's a beautiful red. Beautiful. Yeah. Woo. That's a nice fish right there, boy. That's a keeper. There he goes. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, this is a little marsh red. He's about 6 pounds. Caught him on a Berkeley Gulp with a 16th ounce jig head, 20-pound fluorocarbon. Fish are most probably, looks to me like they're feeding on like fiddler crabs. They're hitting up against the bank. You know, the conditions pretty rough today. We got northwest winds blowing the water out of this area. We're back at Triumph out here, but we're gonna let this guy go just so we can catch him another day.
Being a kayak fisherman, he's going to be down on Grand Isle this weekend like most other kayakers will be for Ride the Bull.
He'll be one of the hundreds, maybe even thousands that you'll see at Ride the Bull this weekend, which has been named the largest kayak fishing tournament in the world, and aptly so. They broke the record in Ride the Bull 4. That year they had 523, and that set a new world record. And then 2 years ago, they eclipsed that record with 733.
Well, you know, Danny Ray and his wife were the founders of it, and now CCA has kind of taken over with it and just added so much more to it. I see really good things ahead for it.
Absolutely. If you want to be around a bunch of like-minded kayak fishermen, you've got to be at Ride the Bull. And I've kind of experienced from every angle. I've fished it, I've worked on a chase boat, I've covered it as a media, and it seems like no matter what angle you go to, you have fun, you enjoy it. Some people say, well, I'm not experienced in kayak fishing. Well, it's anybody's game. Brock Miller won last year. He was a 16-year-old angler on a kayak. The previous year, Jamie Kluwat, her and her husband were in a canoe. She won Ride the Bull. And the previous year, Callie Leroy won it on a stand-up paddleboard. So it's an open playing field. If you register and you get out there, you have a chance to win Ride the Bull.
Unlike any other fishing tournament, this all takes place pretty much in one area, so it makes for a great spectator sport because all the participants are in close proximity.
If you want to just go to Bridgeside and check out the event, there'll be people lined up along the fishing pier on the side of the pass just spectating, taking pictures and watching what's going on.
Always a party at Bridgeside Marina. If you get a chance, make it. Ride the Bull. We'll be right back with more Paradise, Louisiana.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
The CCA Louisiana Star Tournament is doubling down this year. Double the tagged redfish. Twice the trucks. Over $500,000 of prizes awarded in more than 20 categories. Open to all ages, inshore and offshore, youth enter free. Don't let your chance to win swim away. Register at ccastar.com or at any Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Good morning and welcome to another segment of Paradise, Louisiana. We're here on the Cougar with Captain John Coulon, and also Keith Lusher is joining us from North Shore Fishing Reports. And we have a group in the background that's ready to go catch some red snapper. And Keith, you want to introduce yourself?
Keith Lusher, NorthShoreFishingReport.com, and I'm excited to start out this morning. Looks like a beautiful morning.
Beautiful.
Go catch some red snapper with this fun group, huh?
Hey, it's Sergeant Frank with Adopt a Cop USA, and we're starting our Louisiana chapter today right here on the Cougar with Captain John in Venice, Louisiana.
All right.
We're real excited about it, you know, and our whole goal is to bring some kids out here and some police officers to bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement. And we used to say one child at a time, but now we're going to say here in Louisiana, we're going to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community one fish at a time. So that's what we're going to do now. So thanks very much for joining us. Stay tuned to see the biggest fish caught on the boat by, we'll see who.
Wanda Stewart.
There we go.
It don't feel like a snap. Dragon too.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Good snap.
Hey, that's a big one right off the pad. Oh my God, that is awesome.
Take your camera out. There you go. Oh, he might make.
There you go.
Nope. Take that. Good fish. Good.
bigger than yours. All right.
That's another good one.
All right.
Come on, Liz.
Take
Looking
it out the
good.
line. That's it.
That's not a bad fish.
That's it.
There we go.
Baby small, but they're powerful.
Oh, that's a nice.
Show the comparison. Put them on side of each other. Put them on. Little different there. Okay. Is that a keeper?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to know you just throwing something back big.
Our whole program is casting hope and catching dreams, and there you go. There's the fruits of our labor right there.
Now the stupid hungry one.
Yeah. Good for that.
The stupid hungry fish.
Oh, yeah, there's one.
Holy.
All right.
Now I got the trick y'all gonna leave.
Where'd you get him? You got a mangrove?
Nice one. Nice one up front.
This is what the cougar's all about. Catching these big old red snappers. That's what he does. Put you on the big fish.
Captain John Coulard with the cougar.
Yes, sir.
Man, Delta Blue sport fishing. Boy, you did it again. I've only been with you about 3 times, but you've always been successful. The one major question right now is snapper. Today you've been targeting, in the last few months you've been targeting. Even back when there was little season, y'all shorter boat captains could charter a little more red snapper than other people.
Right.
Tell me, how much is it, this extended season for recreational fishermen, how much does it help your business?
Thanks to the great state of Louisiana, Gary, we appreciate and need every day we can squeeze from here out. It's not what we want, but we'll take every day as a gift. Man, one more day in this business is a blessing.
All
We
right.
gotta take, this is a predator fish. This endangered species become a predator fish a long time ago. We have to get rid of as many as we can to get some of the species we've lost a long time ago to come back to our waters.
You ready, huh?
I like that.
That's a shame when you got to get through the snapper to catch any other kind of fish.
We're doing our best to eliminate as many as we can, Gary.
Sergeant Frank, Adopt a Cop. Explain to me and all the people watching about what's Adopt a Cop and what's the thing.
All right, Adopt a Cop USA was started in Palm Beach County, Florida, and we're in 3 counties in Florida right now: Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Miami-Dade County. And we're now here in Venice, Louisiana, to start our newest chapter out of state in Louisiana for Adopt a Cop USA. So what we're going to do is we started a fishing program to help motivate the children to come out and do some fishing with the police officers here in Venice, Louisiana. And that program is also going to be called the Outdoor Crusaders, where we take the kids outdoors. And then our fishing club is the Joe Crowder Fishing Club. So all 3 of those organizations are under the umbrella of Adopt a Cop USA. What we're having in law enforcement today across the country is the fact that the community is not engaging with the officers. So Adopt a Cop's whole idea is to bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement, one child at a time. And our goal is to be able to take the kids out on these fishing excursions and help them find out about the great opportunities of fishing and bring together this dialogue so that the children and the officers can kind of communicate and understand where they're each coming from. Because a lot of these officers don't understand what these kids are going through and vice versa. So it's a great idea to bring them together. And just like fishing in Louisiana, it brings families together. And we want our children and our police officers and their families and their parents to come together for the common good in our communities.
Let me ask one more question.
Yes, sir.
You're saying fishing. Starting off as just fishing. Will it ever become all outdoors?
Well, it's absolutely, and we also go inside the schools, and we have a mentoring program where the officers actually sit down with the kids and mentor them inside the schools. And we have a book program where the officers actually read with the children. We call it a read-along instead of a ride-along program like you do with a police officer. So we mentor in school, and then from there we go out in the outdoors, and then we also do the fishing program. So it's land, sea, and air.
Last big question.
Yes, sir.
You're trying to expand. We in 17 states in Paradise, Louisiana, to help you, to help this grow. Tell us how they can get in touch with you. Any state that sees this, anybody in any state,
Absolutely.
any law enforcement agency, any area, how they get in touch with you to start the program.
Absolutely. I will actually personally go to whatever area that is and come to our website, adoptacopusa.org, and you can contact me, or you can actually call, and then my contact number is on there, my phone number is on there as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every social media out there, you can get a hold of us, and I will personally come to your state and start a chapter in an area near you.
Relationships are everything in life. For me, the most important relationships start with faith, family, and friends. I feel blessed to be married to my high school sweetheart of over 25 years. We were both born and raised in Louisiana, and so were our 4 children. We're proud to call Louisiana our home. That's why giving back is so important to us, whether it's car seats, bicycles, or helping those in need. At Gordon McKern Injury Attorneys, we feel blessed, knowing that we can come to work every day and help our community when they need us the most.
Call 800-653-9968.
Robert Henson, Hinson, with Honey Hole Marine, LLC, and we sell the flexor kit for leaning post. The leaning post was designed to take the pressure off your knees, back, and hip. As you can see, I'm sitting here and I have it completely moving. As you're going across the waves, it'll absorb that shock. You can look on the side and you can see the spring actually flex with just one person on it. The springs are set in a Dorkin coating that guarantees it for 1,500 hours of continuous saltwater spray. I have covers that go over that, and I'm guaranteeing it for 3 years in saltwater environment. And it has Coast Guard approval to go on brand new boats as well. You cut 3 inches out of your front leg to put your hinge in facing forward, and then you cut 2 7/8 in the back, and these little inserts right here bolt straight to the spring, and you can bolt it or weld it into your kit. Never even have to take it off your boat. The inserts and this right here are both solid aluminum, so you can drill through it and bolt it, and I supply the bolts in the kit, 3/16 stainless bolts, and it's guaranteed for 3 years with Coast Guard approval to go on to new boats as well as used boats. You have full Velcro covers that go on to protect the spring and make sure that it doesn't rust. So you have plenty of protection. That's how come I can guarantee it for 3 years. www.honeyholemarine.com, or you can call me direct at 210-602-8268 to order. Thank you very much.
Pause moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
Paradise, Louisiana.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back to our Paradise, Louisiana H&H Tournament Report. Gary, upcoming tournaments. We've got the kayak tournament put on by the Lafayette Kayak Fishing Club. That's going to be coming up on September the 2nd. Speck and Redfish Cup is put on by Pack and Paddle, and you can fish anywhere. A little bit down the road, the Grand Isle Ladies Rodeo, and I know ladies get really excited about that one, October 6th and 7th down in Grand Isle. And we do have some tournament results that came in.
Bunch of tournament results. Number one is Ascension Anglers, had 85 boats. And I want to thank Ryan Levine for sending me this. It was at both sides of Dry Bones Landing. Number one was Doug McClure, Chad Weil. They had 15.57, 5 fish. Second was Dave Cavell and Chuck Halbert, 15.50. Since I closely was. Ray Loop and Chad Cahoon were third at 15.38. And Lonnie Boudreau and Gary Haney was at 14 even. Paid 17 places. To get in the top money, you had to have at least 10 pounds, 8 ounces, and then to make the money. The most of the fish caught in the spillway, that just goes to show you how hot it is right now. Had 25 teams had 10 pounds or better. We got some pictures of the stringers, but most of them the guys getting their check. So you know it benefited those guys. They had 5 guys and 1 from Mississippi. They're going to be going to the big tournament at the Deflated Cost, since it's all the way in South Carolina. So the Dufresne Rodeo at Bridge Island Marina. You can have a rodeo every day in Grand Isle, every weekend for sure. And Bull Red, Mike White sent me some pictures. He had a 39.82. Speckled trout was Randall Guidry, which is pretty big, at 6.3. We had a rat red at 7.6 at Kevin
7.68 rat red? I think that'd be called a slot red. The rats are usually a little smaller than that.
Yeah,
that's a big rat.
That's a big rat, but that's it. And then that's the tournaments right there. Now we're going to the this is the big ones right now. Tournament rodeos is a high school tournament report out of Henderson, St. Thomas More, and Terrence held a tournament over there. The weights wasn't quite as big as they were in the spillway. There's a lot of changes going on in Henderson, but there's still a lot of fish being caught. First place is Connor Smith and Dylan Guidry from Terrence. Second place was Braxton Voisin. Okay, and Cameron Connor from St. Thomas More, Matthew Corville, and Connor Duffy from St. Thomas More. The Junior Southwest Bassmasters, and again, I can't say enough, Jim and Cindy, bro, taking care of this, sending these pictures. They don't forget them kids. It's unbelievable. They fished the spillway. They broke a club record. 52 anglers fished it this week. First place was Hanson Cheney with 10.43, and second place, Evan Matty at 10.03. Okay, Micah Hubbard with 8.2, and then the 11-14 age, McVeigh Stockwell. Bo Landry was second. They all were 9 and 8 pounds coming up right there. And Jacob Touye, Big Bass, was McVeigh Stockwell. Noah Roblin, Hunter Robertson, they're first and second in the youth division, the 7 to 10. Michael LaQuette, adult was John Cheney, Bubby, and Britt Richard, Big Bass, with Denny Perkins in the elder division, and I got rid of Evan Matty had Big Bass in the 15 to 18 division. I can't say enough. This is so hot and so fast and going on, and that's my tournament report.
All right, well-deserved congratulations to all those folks. Send us your tournament results at Gary@ParadiseLouisiana.com. Coming back, it'll be the Paradise, Louisiana news coverage, and boy, we got a lot of news happening in Louisiana. Stay with us.
Sight casting redfish in the Louisiana marsh is this exciting. To make it even more exciting, the Louisiana Redfish Series, partnered with Tito's Handmade Vodka, will add $10,000 to the first place team of each of this year's events, plus a $20,000 payoff to the grand champion. It all starts in April, so register your team now and come out to see the most exciting tournament series Louisiana has to offer. The Louisiana Redfish Series, partnered with Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Welcome to the Paradise, Louisiana news segment, and Gary, starting off with really good news. Agent Tyler Wheeler, you remember we covered his shooting. He was up at a wildlife management area and a couple of knuckleheads. He stopped them on a normal routine traffic stop, and they ended up shooting him in the back several times. He is recovered and back to work. That is excellent news.
August 4th. What a great date to have him back, and he's one of the heroes for sure in Louisiana. White Lake, I know that ain't one of your favorites, but White Lake and the rice people, I'm telling you, it is controversial still. There's a lot of people. Their waterfowl lottery is coming up. Go to Wildlife and Fisheries website if you want to be involved in that. And the waterfowl hunts. Duck numbers. Now, you got some numbers right here. We didn't run them last year, but they're good, especially a long-term average.
Long-term average looks excellent. We should have another good season. Of course, you still got that factor of the weather. You got to have cold weather, snow and ice north of us to push the birds down, but the birds are there is the good news. So if we get the weather, could be a real banner year. 47.3 million breeding ducks. That's about what we had last year. It was 48.4, actually down a little bit, but it's 34% above the 1955 to 2016 long-term average. So that's good news. It's like I would make a prediction of anywhere from an average to a well above average season, depending on the factors like the weather that we haven't seen.
You can go to Ducks Unlimited website and get the red snapper always in the news. So far the numbers are still up. Look like we're gonna make it through Labor Day, and there's even talk about in state waters even extending it further.
Well, we'll see. We'll keep you posted on that. But thanks to La Creole, the program that Louisiana designed and implemented, we've been able to get a lot more out of our red snapper season than would look like that dismal 3 days that were originally given by the Fed. So that's some good news. Something you've been on for a long time, cleaning up Elmer's Island. I know you go down there and you get disgusted sometimes seeing the trash. Not always the visitor's fault because they really don't have the proper number of receptacles and keep them cleaned out. But there is going to be a beach sweep cleanup coming up soon. It's going to be from 10 to 1 on Saturday, September the 16th. So if you want to participate, show up down there.
Well, Comandale said, in the last time you saw him, we was down at Grand Rodeo, he is talking to the governor. He's trying to let Grand Isle take it over because the Grand Isle Beach right now, if you've been there in the last few weeks, they rake it. Seagrass is not going to hurt nothing, but you can't control that. You can't control what's coming from offshore. But they clean it. They're spending a little time over there and cleaning it. They can get the dollars, they can keep it up. They want to transfer and do the same thing at Elmer's Island. But number one is the receptacle. Somebody's going to have to adopt them or go in there and put the receptacle so people can put their trash before they leave, because ain't too many people going to have a bunch of trash all weekend and throw it in the back of their truck like you and I would do. So and down at Acadiana Sportsman, hunting season's coming up. They got their 33rd annual Hunter Awareness Day. It's Saturday, September 23rd. It's at 10 a.m. at Crowley, Louisiana Police Firing Range. So you want to see what's going on right now. And if you want to learn more about hunter safety and hunter awareness, 33 years they've been doing it.
All right, and don't forget, so hunting seasons are pretty much here. Dove season, there is a new regulation change. If you're going to be hunting on the state leased land or a state wildlife management area, you're no longer going to be able to use lead shot. It's got to be number 6 or smaller in non-toxic form. And don't forget that teal season is opening up on a Friday. It's catching a lot of people by surprise. That's in order to move the season as late into September as they could.
I know somebody that's going to make real happy.
Yeah, be the first opening day.
Friday, no.
Yeah, they're not working on Friday, and the first opening day of teal season in 29 years. I will be there. All right, and that's our news. We'll be back with the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report here on Paradise, Louisiana.
Aggressive, modern, and durable. The latest advancement in spinning has the Revo name on it, and almost a century of fishing expertise in it. No matter where your passion takes you, world-class fishing is only a Revo away.
All right, here we have the 2018 Penn International reels, the version 6 reels. They're now going to be available in silver and in gold only. They've got the larger handles, aircraft aluminum side plates, which now they'll be even lighter than they were before. You're available in single speed, 2-speed, and also in the 2-speed wide spools. All right, now to go along with the international reels, we've also retooled the international rods. They're made now in Florida, the U.S. They are available in the bent butt for your seats. They've got them with the all rollers. They've got them with the strip rollers and just the roller tips and even just the boat rods. But they're all designed in Florida for your international reels. Just in time for Christmas, Berkeley Lightning Rod has retooled their whole line. And in doing so, they have brought back the 6-foot pistol grip cork-handled rod. Again, just in time for Christmas. It's going to be starting to hit the stores in September of this year. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Mitch Rotolo, owner of Rotolo's Pizzeria. Our pizzas are prepared every day using the freshest ingredients. But Rotolo's has so much more to offer than just delicious pizza. We have an array of healthy salads and tasty wraps, a wide choice of pasta like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, zesty buffalo wings, and our selection of savory calzones. And don't forget to try one of our amazing desserts. Come into any of our local restaurants or check out our entire menu online at rotolos.com. That's just the way we Rotolo.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report, and Gary, starting off with freshwater fishing. We talked about the basin. Those tournament results reflect some really good bass action in that area, but the panfish, don't overlook goggle eye, the brim, and some sac-a-lait action still going on real strong there. North of the Lake Pontchartrain area, all that's complex over there with some exceptions. A lot of those are still high and muddy. It needs to drop down a little bit more. We got more rain this week, so I'm not sure how that's going to fare out. And you're really limited to fishing early in the morning and late in the afternoon because of these high temperatures.
That's it. And I'm going to go back to the spillway. Like you said, if you look at them tournament results, all of them are over 10 pounds. It is unbelievable. The weights that came in, fish were caught. What's amazing, there went a lot of big fish. Went a lot of 4-pound or 5 or 6 pound that would have shot them up to 20-pound stringers. But a 15-pound stringer, remember, that's a 3-pound average. Them kids had a 2-pound average. So it's amazing. Toledo Bend, Henderson again, they were catching crappie, they're catching big brim. The bass was good. They sort of cut it back a little bit. Okay, I don't know why. If it was any change, the spillway's falling. It was the weather, I don't know. But I haven't gotten a lot of reports from Henderson, but you know why? Because people fish the spillway right now. Back in Henderson was high, they find places to fish. Cane River, when we was there, we went to the Red River. The rods messed us up. Now they got a fall. They might be going back to hitting in the Red River, but the Cane River, the weekend we were there, I got reports that a lot of people caught a lot of fish in the Cane River. Didn't give me the baits or where they were fishing, but that's good. And Bayou, Bonfica. Mark Novel's back at it again. Bunch of brim. He said his juicy crickets. They came from Bayou Adventures. Bayou Liberty, James Shake Snyder made a trip down there to Buddy's camp and did real good. You know, he caught some smaller bass. They had a hunt and go and different runouts. When they got closer to the lake, they caught better fish too. They had a Wounded Warriors tournament. It's Sawgrass. The people send me some pictures. Anytime they do for Wounded Warriors, we're going to run that picture. The Marsh, we got a picture from John Cheramy, the Brenton Sound, Charles Williams, out there busting them on live shrimp. Got redfish and speck viewers. Mike Gary sent me a picture. Thank you. Hopedale. Derek Harris was fishing with my buddy Dow Jans. And my big buddy now, he stays down there right now in Hopedale. He was sitting at Mozambique Point in Delacroix, caught redfish specks and everything. Tom LeBlanc still struggling in Delacroix. I don't know what's wrong with Tom. They're catching a few fish, but you know, he fished in that lime truce and fishing. He always still sends that report. Grand Isle, Ashley Doron, a huge triple tail. And you would believe the size of that triple tail, floating pallet. So thank you, Larry, for setting that one. And even got a back one. Look here. Leeville, George Peavy, High Water Charters, been hammering them. Fouchon Beach, Matrix Shad, I told you they were having trouble getting shrimp. Fishing the Lemon Head. Bobby Black, he finally got me the pictures. He took some friends from over there. They caught a bunch of trout. They didn't have the shrimp. They went to Buggies. They were out of shrimp. He said, give me some bait shrimp. He went for the Fouchon Rocks on the west side, caught them in there, went back on a couple of them islands. They had a ledge with a jig head, just like we were fishing the other day in the feet. A jig head and a live shrimp, caught a limit tratrout, and then they wanted them bull reds. They found the birds diving. Here's some pictures of some monster bull rays they caught out there, tore their bass quick up. Them boys from Monroe were really happy. So,
speaking of triple tail, Captain Mike Gallo finally saw his first 2 triple tail of the season over in the Lake Bourne area. They had a great week last week in Shell Beach, catching a lot of trout, long rocks, short rocks, Bay Elwha, just about anywhere you go out on the outer coast. If the weather allows you to get there in Shell Beach, take some of those live shrimp and you'll do well. Offshore, we saw what you did on the red snapper. They're thick, they've been thick. You can squeeze it in before it ends.
If you see that Dufresne report on that page, they had tuna, blackfin tuna, cobia, they had all of them. Speckled trout was all over 20 pounds. I mean speckled trout. Snapper were all over 20 pounds. Tuna and lemon fish, all of them in the mix.
All right, get your fishing in before the hunting takes over, because then you got a choice you're going to have to make. Hope you'll make the choice to join us again next week for another edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Don't forget, send your pictures in, and when you shoot those pictures with a cell phone, shoot them horizontally. They fit the screen so much better. And send them to Gary at ParadiseLouisiana.com.
Tax-free weekend.
Tax-free weekend coming up, and make sure you get your hunting supplies. From Puglia Sporting Goods on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie, you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana is presented by Rotolo's Pizzeria. Fresh ingredients, friendly service. That's just the way we Rotolo. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Pro Drive Outboards. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Venice Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.